Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Are we going to see each other? Are we going to see us?
I don't know.
It would be great just the whole Extra Time is just that.
That'd be better than what's to come.
God. Switch them off. We won't need them in our life. Gabs, is Sid here with us as well? Gabs with us? And Sid, Sid will be joining us later. Okay. I didn't mean to say that in like a disappointed way, Gab. I'm happy you're here as well. Let's start off with a simple question. Who are you having, Gab? Mason Greenwood or Ansu Fati?
Ooh. I absolutely love Mason Greenwood. I think he should be playing centre forward for Manchester United. But I think the upside with Ansu Fati is greater long term.
Yeah, I think his ceiling's higher, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an easy week to pick Ansu Fati in between these two, just given how good he was against.
Well, Greenwood's goal wasn't bad.
Yeah, but Ansu Fati.
You didn't like Greenwood's goal, Shaka?
Yeah, what was wrong with Greenwood's goal?
I'm just saying, this week, with Ansu Fati's performance today, it's an easy decision to make.
Because Greenwood's was yesterday?
Yeah.
Right, that's it? Mm-hmm. Which was the better goal, in your opinion? Which was the better goal? Greenwood's?
I can't remember Greenwood's goal.
Long strike from outside the box. Beautiful. Opened the scoring against Leicester.
Oh, yeah, that was a good goal.
We did the show yesterday talking about it.
It was a good goal.
It was pretty good.
Greenwood's was better. Greenwood's goal was better.
So you would go Greenwood over...
No, I'm still picking Ansu Fati.
Gab. Wow. God, what a question this is. I'm not sure if anyone's preempted you with this, Gab. The best African player ever played in the Premier League.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, God. So... All right, I hate this question because I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody.
Right.
I think my all-time favorite African player who played in the Premier League was Michael Essien. I thought when he was on top of his game, he was unplayable.
Right.
However, if I say that, then I remember that, wait, Mohamed Salah, he's from another part of Africa, but he's also an African player.
Yes.
So it would probably be Mo Salah.
Yep.
But then I remember Yaya Toure not getting not getting his birthday cake and getting upset and being underappreciated all those years. And how when he first arrived, people said, "Oh, look, he's lazy and rubbish," and then instead, he dominated for many years. So, off the top of my head, I'm going to say one of those three.
Wow.
But
Can you imagine
I'm forgetting
all those angry
candidates.
Didier Drogba fans?
Yeah.
Shouting at Gab.
Yes, there you go. That guy was pretty good too.
Gab hates Chelsea. Gab hates Chelsea. That's what I heard.
Who's your pick? That's a really
First
tough...
guy I mentioned is a Chelsea player.
That's a tough...
I'm going to go Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah's been the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he's the one you just remembered?
I can't remember.
Like Ansu Fati.
What happened yesterday?
I promised, didn't I, during the show that we're going to hear from Sergino Dest in Extra Time. Here is me now fulfilling that promise.
So it was a big week, 3 really big games.
Yes.
And after 5 minutes, you're a goal down. Is that kind of the best thing about tonight's result, the fact that the team reacted so well?
I think so, yeah. I think so. Because it's never good to, come that early in the game behind. But we fought as a team, And I think we needed this win, to get back on track. And the mentality of this group is right.
Did you, as you say, you felt like you needed this win. Did you come into this game feeling pressure to get 3 points?
Yeah, a kind of pressure. Of course, we're Barca, so... we're expected to win, and we want to win. So the last couple of games, we didn't win. So now there is a little bit pressure, that we have to win and get back on track.
So you get a victory. You have Ansu starts and scores. Coutinho gets his first goal of the season. Sergio Aguero gets some time on the pitch. By the end of the night, even if it didn't start very well, it feels almost like a perfect night, like everything has gone well.
Yeah. As I said, we played really well as a team. We created some chances. We kept the ball. We defended well, as a team. So we're like back on track, and we have to keep going because the Champions League is going to be important as well.
You've got the Champions League, as you say. Then you've got Real Madrid. It's a big week. It's 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah.
Physically, how's the team holding up?
Everybody just came back from the break, national break. But I think, we showed today, that we're still able to, run for each other. So that's the good thing about it. And yeah, we have Wednesday, we have the Champions League, and then we got like one more day rest, I guess. So that's going to be good for us. Yeah.
How did you find it personally today? And back in the studio before the game, when we got the starting 11, we were looking at the players and trying to work out the formation, trying to work out whether Gavi would be on the right of midfield, whether Sergio Roberto would be in the front three, whether you would be in the front three or you'd be at right back. How did you enjoy a role today where you played ahead of Sergio Roberto, presumably with a bit more freedom to attack and a bit more freedom to actually enjoy the game?
Yeah, I did enjoy it, you know. It was a little bit more freedom to play forward, you know. But, for me, like, I play wherever the coach needs me, you know, and wherever the team needs me. So, I think I did a pretty good job today, you know, to help the team. Whenever the coach or team needs me to play there again, I will do it for the team.
So did you say to him afterwards, listen, boss, this works really well. Let's keep doing this. If it's that little bit more fun, a little bit further forward.
No, I didn't say it, you know, but...
you can tell him now if you like on screen, make sure he finds out.
No, I just play where the team needs me, you know. That's the most important because we are a team and we want to win, you know. So I don't prefer anything.
Just a final word on Ansu. We seem to forget, I think, sometimes because he's played and he's been out for a whole year, that he's still only 18. Yeah. Can you try and sort of explain to us what it is that he's got that makes him different?
Yeah, Ansu, you know, he's a really great talent. Like he came back from an injury, you know, after like 1 year or something, and you know, first game he scored. Today he scored again, you know, and I think he's really important for us as well. So it's we're glad to have him back. And of course, as an 18-year-old, it's not easy, you know, and being out for 1 year already. So we're really glad to have him back.
Sergino, Dest then chatting to Sid Lowe after Barcelona's victory against Valencia. Sid's here as well now with Gab. I want to start with you, Shaq. Sergino, Dest happy, we saw. De Jong happy. Yunus Musa speaking to Sid after the game, of course, the Valencia player. It must just be horrible as a player when you're just kind of shoved out to be the voice piece, basically, for a defeat, where you just... Like, last thing you want to do is see Sid Lowe, speak to Sid Lowe, have any dealings with Sid Lowe, surely.
Sid's a lovely man at the best of times, I'm sure. But try to convince Yunus Musa of that. But listen, after you lose a game, you are not in the mood for anything.
No.
You're not in the mood to do interviews, even with lovely people like Sid.
Suck it up to Sid.
I'm just saying. This is not a reflection on Sid. That's what I'm saying. But it's the last thing you want to be doing, and you do feel his pain.
Yeah, and you must have felt it during the interview, Sid, as well.
Sid wasn't making it easy for him either. He's like, oh, that was terrible.
You were awful. What happened?
You were on the bench, you come on, nothing went right.
It's pure evil, isn't it? It's pure evil to put them in that position. In fairness, actually, I was very struck by this. The first player we spoke to was Jasper Cillessen, who was far more downbeat than Yunus had been. Very, very direct, very upset with the way that they'd played. And then listening to Carlos Soler, he was much more analytical about it in Spanish than Jasper had been. But again, felt that they'd lacked the intensity. They'd not really competed the way that Valencia should do. Now, obviously, as we talked about this, our position during the game is very low down, but certainly from low down, I didn't feel, myself at least, that Valencia's flaw was a lack of intensity or a lack of competitiveness. I felt they lacked some other things in the game, but not necessarily that. And they did create a couple of decent chances, but they depart here very, very unhappy. You know, it's 5 games now without a win, and that early optimism that came with the change in style under Bordalas, I think, is disintegrating a little bit.
Gab, have you developed a tactic when interviewing players that have lost to cheer them up?
No, I don't. Like, I don't often do post-game interviews anymore because I find, you know, there's some players who love to go the analytical route, and I really like that. I would have probably enjoyed, out of the 3 guys Sid talked to, I would have probably enjoyed talking to Carlos Soler the most. I think sometimes players just find it more comforting too. It helps them. They review the game in their mind, and you know they go through and all the X's and O's. Obviously, what you don't want to do after a game, after a crushing defeat or whatever, is to is just to go and say something like, what are you feeling right now? Or, gee, that must have been rough.
That was Sid's first 2 questions, Gab. Did you not see the interview?
I didn't realise that today's show was going to be a dissection of my terrible interviewing technique. I mean, I'm grateful for it, Dan, as this is a new job for me. But really, I didn't expect it to be made quite so public.
No, we've learned that post-match interviews are below Gab, and he would never lower himself to do that. Okay, let's get back to some questions, shall we? Shaka, Gab, would you guys have used Eric Bailly or stuck with Maguire in the Leicester game?
Well, Bailly was coming off injury as well.
Sorry.
Gab's on one.
No. I feel very strongly about this, okay? So if you're going to get the Maguire that we saw on Saturday, obviously, Captain Hindsight says, okay, obviously it was wrong and you should have gone with Eric Bailly. I mean, heck, at that point, you could have gone with Phil Jones and it wouldn't have been any worse. However, you have to trust the people who are there, who know Harry Maguire, who see him train every day, who can assess his state of mind. And, none of us are there. So while I'm happy to criticize Solskjaer for other decisions he's made, this one, I don't know. I don't assess him. He could have just looked brilliant until that point in training and yes, he's 100%, he's ready. Because when you think about it, especially the first goal, I mean, that's just a brain fart, right? That's got nothing to do with him being fit or unfit. That's just him kind of, not realizing that Iheanacho's actually pretty quick on the pitch. So I don't think, I know where you're going with this. I don't think it's a fair one necessarily to beat Solskjaer over the head with.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just reading the questions, Gav. That was Marcus's questions.
I'm beating Solskjaer over the head.
Oh, yeah. All right, I will. Steve, you can go, by the way. We haven't got anything else to...
Can I?
Yeah, you can go home.
You have to terrorise anybody else.
You don't want to dissect my performance a bit more?
Gav has made numerous notes that he'll put in a PowerPoint presentation tomorrow for you.
Don't give Yunus Musa kicking his shins
so long as he allows me overnight to overcome this horrific defeat that I've just suffered and ask me the questions when I've managed to settle, and not when I'm standing in front of this advertising board immediately after the heat of the battle thinking, oh no, I can't believe we got this so badly wrong.
Sid, big week, Clasico coming up. Get some rest. Thank you very much.
You have some more people to terrorise next week.
Speaking of, I can't believe they've put this question in. Get ready for this.
Uh-oh.
Get ready for this grenade, Gab. What are the chances Icardi returns to Inter given his current, quote-unquote, situation?
You know what? You're asking me to wade back into Wanda Nara, Maurito Icardi land. I genuinely don't. It's not a great place to be. It's a very bizarre thing. It's kind of like, if you're very old, you remember the Jefferson Airplane song. It's a lot like that, right? You're kind of chasing rabbits, except you're chasing Wanda and Mauro. The weirdest thing is after what happened, something like, as we record this, like an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, she posted a picture of the two of them hugging and embracing. So I have no idea which way this one's going to go. What I can tell you is, from Inter's perspective, they're cash-strapped, and they're probably grateful that they're cash-strapped right now, because I don't see them going in this direction. They have a good excuse not to even go and reopen that gigantic can of worms. I feel like I need, because people obviously don't just follow Icardi or indeed his wife's Twitter account maybe every single minute of the day. She tweeted out something derogatory, something he had done, which maybe would affect the future of their marriage.
My whole takeaway from this is a question that I would have dropped my mic, unplugged, and ran off screen. Gab answered very succinctly.
Of course, Gab, he's a professional.
That was very good. I would have just ran.
I just heard him make a noise. Is he going back for seconds?
I can't wait to see if he is.
Gab, do we move on?
Please.
I just wanted to remind everybody that Wanda Nara isn't just Mauro Icardi's wife and one of the mothers of his children. She's also, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I meant she's got Well,
Stop.
I mean, like she was married to somebody else beforehand, who's obviously backing up. Who's obviously a very famous footballer. But anyway, she's also his agent, and that plays into this whole thing as well because I don't know. I don't know if it's easier to leave your wife than it is to leave your agent these days.
We're all children. Right, let's move on. Shaka, what's the worst pitch you've ever played on?
The worst pitch?
Yes.
And I'm going to guess AstroTurf is awful, regardless.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How do you deal with the bounce on AstroTurf? Is that the issue?
It's hard. It's because the ball bounces so it's so different from grass in every respect. I absolutely hate it.
Higher, lower.
Higher. If it's wet, the ball shoots off more, and it doesn't pop up as much as on grass. So it's almost a different game.
Right.
It really is, especially from a goalkeeping perspective. Let me see. I played. Is it Red Star Belgrade? Played then in the UEFA Cup with West Ham. That had been the '99 season, and there was some kind of storm the night before, and the place just flooded. But
wow!
As UEFA kind of forced you to play these games as they do, and the pitch was we ended up drawing 2-2, I believe it was. It was just awful.
Next question is going to be quick and easy. Does Gab think the Eagles will make the playoffs? No.
No, not this season.
There you go. Right, there we go.
I'm not sure I want them to make the playoffs this season. Otherwise, Nick Sirianni might come back and talk more nonsense about playing rock, paper, scissors and talking about his brothers who are also coaches and his dad and all the other goofy stuff.
He's going to get another year, Gab. They just hired him.
Gab's angry.
I love him.
Look, I don't know. It was fun for a while, and he seems like a super nice guy. Oh. And so, I felt a little bit guilty making fun of him. But, with all this stuff that he comes up with, and, when he says, like, we're going to have systems that are difficult to understand. Well, I mean, difficult to understand for the opponent, easy to understand. I mean, come on, enough. He sounds like he's coaching
5 games in. Gab's already thrown him under the bus.
Okay. Angry.
6 games in.
He's okay about Icardi, but angry about the Eagles.
Well, why'd you bring Icardi?
I'm still amazed. I really am amazed.
To Shaka, will you do a power ranking of players?
Because you all can't get enough about
power rankings. I know, your team player rankings, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Who would be number 1?
This week?
Yes.
Oh. Because it changes every week, of course.
Of course, yeah. So who'd be number 1?
Lewandowski.
Yeah, that's, I think.
I'm going to go with Lewandowski. That's easy.
Yeah.
But he hasn't won the World Cup, Shaka. He hasn't won the World Cup.
No, nobody won the World Cup this week, Gab. I've checked my notes. I've checked my notes. Nobody's won it this
Right, here we go. God, what a question this is. If your fingers could dispense 5 condiments, and those would be the only 5 condiments you could eat for the rest of your life, what would they be, and which fingers would they be? Right, 5 is far too many. I'm not giving you 5, I'm giving you one condiment.
Which fingers would they be?
I'm giving you one condiment, that is it.
One condiment?
That you can have.
Pepper sauce.
Pepper sauce?
Yes.
Is the one condiment.
You've got to have spice in your life, Dan.
Right. Which finger would it come out on? I don't know why that's right.
What question is that?
Gab.
My index.
Now, Gab, very passionate about his food.
Yes.
Which condiment is he going with?
Ketchup.
Does olive oil count as a condiment?
No.
Yeah, it does.
I just want to say no to wind up Gab. Gab walking down the streets firing olive oil at him.
A1 steak sauce for Gab.
Hey. A1 steak. I'm having ketchup.
I'm gonna go.
I'm having ketchup.
I'm gonna go French. I'm gonna go French mustard. Grey Poupon.
Oh, very.
Just to please George.
Dan had a sandwich for lunch today and had just plain old mayonnaise on it.
I don't really quite see the problem with that.
I don't understand. And here the ESPN CAF, you've got chipotle mayonnaise, pesto. If mayonnaise is your thing,
I'm just quite happy.
All kinds of mayonnaises you can have. You go with plain old mayonnaise.
Well, I obviously haven't got the developed palates that you have, Shaka.
I'm really put off by that, Dan.
I think that is it.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Miracle Whip, Dan.
Whip. That is it.
Such a child. You.
Me?
I'm upset about that.
Right, that is it. We are done. We are back tomorrow for more. Oh, it's my last show tomorrow before I go to Barcelona.
They have no mayonnaise. You can't get plain mayonnaise in Barcelona. You'll have to pack it in your carry-on.
Stevie would. Eleanor's shepherd's pie. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.